This is a very unique story. The backstory with this is that a lot of people tend to think that I should try to get in touch with family members before I start talking about these stories. Well, I did reach out in this case. I did get in touch with a family member, and they told me, they said, let me think about it. I said, okay. Waited a day, hit them back, and they're like, they're going to decline to come on and talk about this story, which I think might have actually done them some good, because here's the reason why I say that. The implications in this story about what the police are charging them with, what the courts are saying, is kind of one of those things that it's hard to deny it. The family is actually denying a lot of what is being accused of the person that you see on my screen, saying that she was falsely imprisoned and they took her kids for no reason, for no good reason. My whole stance on that is I think that if they have facts and evidence against you, you have to present facts against why that's not the case. And I just don't think that they did a very good job. They did a big, huge interview, which I will show you guys if y'all want to see that. Before we get into this story, let me give you guys a disclaimer that some of you might find my content controversial or offensive. The information is coming from credible sources. I'm getting this particular article from parentherald.com, so thank you for the article. We're also getting this from news websites and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinion about the facts of the story. The point is to use this as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised, and that is your official disclaimer. And I'm pretty sure that some of her family members are going to be listening to this. So let me tell you what she's been accused of first. Missouri officials announced that a mother has been charged after she abducted her own infant daughter from the hospital. Y'all need me to read that again? Or did everybody? I want to make sure everybody gets that, because that's pretty deep so far. I'm getting this information from a website, hashtag not my words. I'm just telling you what they're reporting and what the police are saying. Now, according to a news release from the St. Louis County Police Department, a charge of first degree endangering the welfare of a child was filed against the 24-year-old mom. Let me see if I can get her face back up here. That person right there, Jayana Rochelle, also known as Jayana Johnson, 24 years old. Police said that she violated a protective order by taking her injured 10-month-old girl from a St. Louis County Children's Hospital. I watched what the family members said when they tried to defend her and say, she's not that type of mother. She would never do nothing like this. Let's take a pause for the cause and let's back that up like a U-Haul truck and let's revisit what I just said. All right? Show my friends some love there. What's going on? Make this go viral, LLC. I see you in the building. Let me say this again. They quote that she violated a protective order. You would have to ask, how do you even get a protective order in place to begin with? That is not an easy thing to do. That usually means you have pictures, videos, or somebody's personal, somebody's testimony is what I'm trying to say. That's the word I'm looking for. That they are testifying and saying that, hey, I saw something and I'm saying something. I'm reporting that I saw this person do something wrong and I think that y'all need to come in and protect this child. So the judge then came in and said, yes, I'm going to acknowledge that. I recognize it, this is a fact. There are some facts in here that I believe that this child is in danger. I'm going to put a protective order in between this person and the baby. How do you dispute that? Can you dispute the fact that there was not a protective order? You'd have to say that there wasn't a protective order. And if there was a protective order, that means they had facts on their side. That's number one, but let's keep going. They also said that she violated the order and took her injured 10-month-old child from the hospital. You'd have to ask, why did she take the child? Which is a two-part question. And why was the child injured? Somebody in the chat actually said it. Thank you. Why was the child injured? I think here's a better question. Do y'all want to know what the injuries were? And I want y'all to tell me if you can formulate your own opinions about this. Now, police said that the infant was admitted with critical injuries to the hospital. Critical injuries. The baby's injuries had been caused by neglect, with the child suffering from severe malnutrition, being starved, rickets, and pneumonia. The child also had around 17 bone fractures due to lack of care, according to the Kansas City Star. Not my words. So for the family members, don't get mad that I read their words, their report, their information, right? 17 bone fractures does not sound like an accident. A potential accident might be one. Maybe one or two if it's like a compound fracture or something. 17? 17? Talk to me, AFC, please. Somebody in the chat type and tell me, does that sound like an accident? Let's keep going. The Missouri State Highway Patrol then activated an Amber Alert for the young girl after she was taken by her mom from the hospital. How many of you guys are familiar with the Amber Alert system? Guess what you have to have in order to activate an Amber Alert? There are qualifications in order to have an Amber Alert. They met those qualifications first, then they issued the Amber Alert, which goes out on everybody's phone. It goes beep, beep, buzzes everybody's phone in the area. Everybody gets that notification. The Amber Alert was canceled 2 hours later after both the child and the mother were found. That was the point, was to find them because they felt like the child was in danger. Now, according to the Federal Communications Commission, the FCC, law enforcement used Amber Alerts to notify the public about missing kids thought to have been abducted. They're only used for more serious cases of child abduction when authorities believe that a child is in imminent danger of serious bodily injury or death. The main goal of Amber Alerts is to add millions of people to help not only in the safe return of the child, but to also in the apprehension of the abductor. Johnson was arrested and is now being held on a $200,000 cash only, no 10% bond. Based on everything that I just said, I don't know how this family let me see if I can back that up just for a second. That's the people that did the interview. Do y'all want me to play that so y'all can hear it? They are the ones who are coming out and saying that this information is not correct. First of all, the child is damaged. That is a fact. The child had a protective order between the child and the mother. That is a fact. Also, you could prove on camera that the mother came to the hospital and took the child, which violated the order that was in place. That is a fact. It is also a fact that she was apprehended, the child was found in her possession, they arrested her. That is a fact. It is also a fact that she has a $200,000 cash only bond, no 10%. So they're not going to be able to shortcut that. Have I said anything that was not factual yet? Any family members, if I've said something that's wrong, type it in the chat and let me know. I think that's what we have here so far. Let me go and give you guys the fair usage because that video was kind of long. Their interview was kind of long, but I want y'all to be able to see it. So here we go. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. And if you guys would, do me a favor and please click that thumbs up. I want people to be able to participate in this. So share this video so more people can see what we're here talking about. And also, if we do have family members, all you got to do is subscribe to the channel, and then it'll be able to let you type in the chat here after a minute. So if we see a family member in the chat, moderators don't block or time out anybody, okay? I want people to be able to speak. I want to see what people are saying. Give them a chance. Let's see. Let's see what they got to say. Let's go.
An overnight Amber Alert is canceled after a seriously ill 10-month-old baby at the center of the alert is found safe. This morning, the child's mother in custody.
Fox News' Chris Renier is in the Central West End detailing all of these developments.
We are just outside of Children's Hospital. This is where the case unfolded, leading to the Amber Alert, which has since been canceled. St. Louis County Police saying the child has been located safe and is being treated at a hospital while the 24-year-old mother could face charges. We can show you video from overnight here at Children's. St. Louis County Police say the 10-month-old girl was brought to Children's Hospital and was determined to be in critical and unstable condition due to neglect. Investigators say the baby weighed 13 pounds. The CDC website says the average weight for a 10-month-old girl is about 19 pounds. Investigators tell us a protective custody order was issued, but the mother left the hospital with the child against doctor's orders and the protective custody order. That prompted the Amber Alert, which many of us received on our phones overnight. It lasted about 2.5 hours before being canceled. An earlier release from St. Louis County Police saying that the mother refused to bring the child back to the hospital and that the baby was in imminent threat of death if medical intervention wasn't received. We understand the baby is being treated at another hospital, not here at Children's. County Police have not released details surrounding how the mom and baby were located. It is also still unclear what potential charges the mother might face. Reporting in the Central West End, I'm Chris Renier.
On the other side of a nerve-wracking search overnight.
The Missouri Highway Patrol has canceled an Amber Alert for a 10-month-old girl who was taken from an area hospital. Our Sydney Stallworth is live at St. Louis Children's Hospital with what happened. Sydney?
Rennie, Monica, good morning. After about 3 hours of searching under the Amber Alert, we heard just about an hour ago this child has been found and is undergoing treatment at a hospital after she was taken from this hospital, St. Louis Children's Hospital, by her mother. Now, we now know the mother is in police custody. Police feared the 10-month-old girl was under imminent threat of death because she was in critical condition due to neglect and needed medical treatment. Police say against doctor's orders, the baby's mother took her child from the hospital and refused to bring the baby back to the hospital. An Amber Alert was issued around 12:30 and was canceled just after 3 a.m. Now, Missouri Highway Patrol says a protective custody order was issued from the child after doctors noticed what they interpreted to be signs of neglect. Now, from what we know, the 10-month-old baby is now at a hospital receiving medical care. Now, we don't know the circumstances around the signs that doctors interpreted as neglect and the child being brought to the hospital in the first place. We have reached out to several police departments for some more information.
Let me pause that right there. So we have some people in the chatter that are kind of trying to figure out this whole rickets thing, because I'm not familiar with rickets like that at all. But let me tell you what it says here about rickets.
Rickets.
The most common cause of rickets is a lack of vitamin D or calcium in a child's diet. Everybody catch that? The most common cause, lack of vitamin D or calcium in the child's diet, which means what you are feeding them. Okay? Both are essential for children to develop strong and healthy bones. Sources of vitamin D are sunlight. Your skin produces vitamin D when it's exposed to the sun, and we get most of our vitamin D this way. Let me look at this. It says, can rickets be cured? As most cases of rickets are caused by a vitamin D and calcium deficiency, it's usually treated by increasing a child's intake of vitamin D and calcium. Doesn't that sound like it could be neglect? Malnutrition would cause that. Thank you, Leo. Thank you. I think somebody in the chat might have said that earlier also, and I appreciate y'all doing that. If you are starving your child or malnutritioning, if that's even a word, malnourishing your child, that could also cause this, which could be the reason for the neglect charge. Everybody catch that? Let's keep going. I think this is a home video. I'm going to show 2 of these.
Hello, little girl. You're such a big girl.
Because this is a video that the family members are trying to show to prove that the mom was a good mom. Actually, I better take these off of here. Let me make them bigger. Hold on. Y'all are not going to be able to see these like that. Hold on. Actually, this one either. So let me, we're going to show this interview, but give me just a second here. And if you guys are watching, do me a favor and please, please, please click that thumbs up. Where is it? Abducted from the hospital. Okay. Here we go. Because I'm going to need to make this real big because I know the screen is kind of small. So let me see if I can adjust. Hold on. There we go. It's about as big as I can make that.
Hello, little girl. You're such a big girl. Baby girl. You're so cute. Hello. You eat your food, girl?
I'm going to play it again, and then I'm going to show you the other video that they sent in. Is it not playing sound now? Oh, hold on. Where did it go?
Hello, little girl. You're such a big girl. Baby girl. You're so cute. Hello. You eat your food, girl?
And I'm going to tell y'all something that almost makes me teary-eyed to know that these babies were even in this position, that they could be potentially in danger, because they are beautiful little girls, man. Some of y'all actually see me posting a community tab from time to time. When I post my girls in there, like I told you, I have one biological daughter. Then the other one's not mine biologically, but she is my daughter, right? I treat her like she's my baby, and I love those girls. From OKC. Shout out to OKC. I see you in the building. I'm originally from OKC, so shout out to you. It always bothers me when people neglect, hurt, murder, and abuse these kids, because I'm just like, I don't get how you can look at that beautiful, innocent face that would never do anything wrong or do anything to hurt you, and you could turn around and just give them just crap for treatment. I just don't get how that works. This is the last video, and then I'm going to show y'all the interview so y'all can see that. I guess they're just trying to show the interaction, I guess. Now, I'm going to tell you guys what I think about this video. About these last 2 videos. What's the problem with that? Most people who've been on my channel long enough know that people in general can still post things, make it look like, oh, we're so happy with the kids, and showing them playing and laughing and doing dance routines like that mother who had her children handcuffed. You remember that story I just did? Where they tried to flee and run off to Louisiana. Y'all remember that story? I just put it on the channel like less than a week ago. less than 2 weeks ago. But she had them kids on there dancing and doing dance routines from TikTok and made it just look just a happy family while those kids were living in a literal nightmare. We're literally living through a nightmare. That's why I only take that type of stuff with a grain of salt. Here's the interview.
Thank you for tuning into the New Real STL News. This is your brother Charles Abdul Wali. We are live here today in front of Children's Hospital with the family of Jayana Johnson. And the family has some words that they want to give that they said that wasn't told during the local media reports. Can you please give your name and your statement, please?
My name is Sarah Hayes. I'm the mother of Jayana Johnson.
All right, and you had a statement that you have prepared?
Yes, I do. I'm here on behalf of my baby girl, my daughter, Jayana Johnson, who have been defamed of her character. She is not this monster they betray her out to be. She is a loving daughter, a beautiful mother of 2 adorable kids. She is a devoted mother, hard-working person, very caring of others. Always kept a job, started working at 16. Very respectful. Never been a problem child. If anything, she's an overly protective mother. She always put her children before anything. Never waste the time. Ran the streets. Always was focused on bettering herself. Her babies and herself. She always tried to put the best before her children. She can be this horrible person in staff at Children's Hospital. Defame her character, destroy her reputation, betray her trust, constantly criticizing her, harass her being a young mother or 2, as a mother and a grandmother of 5 children and 6 grandchildren. We are a loving family, always supporting and working together to.
Let me tell y'all, while I'm not going to make fun of this, how many times have I come on my stream and I've said, I wish people, instead of just getting up here and talking and make themselves look like a fool, I said, why don't they just take time to write it down? At least they took time to write it down. Right? I'm at least thankful for that. So let's keep going. I'm not going to make fun of that because they are listening. So that's a good thing.
Support each other in their needs. Without sisters and brothers and family checking on one another, we are a close family. I am very active in my grandchildren's life, my children's life, and I do not take this.
So y'all are hearing from the grandmother. This is the grandmother. The grandmother of the woman who's currently arrested. This is her mom. This is the grandmother of the baby. Excuse me. I might have said that wrong. Grandmother of the baby, mother of the woman who's arrested for allegedly abusing the babies.
I do what it takes to support my family. Samara and Samari love being around their cousins. These people came and took Samari out of my care environment and her safe environment, family and cousins, surrounded with cousins, and her aunts and uncles. Make it make sense. If that's how the system works, well, we as people need to make a change in the corrupt system. I will not rest until my family is whole again. It has been broken because of false allegations, lies, and I will not relax until my daughter, Jayana Johnson, is relieved and released from custody. So we as a family can keep lifting and supporting her through this horrible ordeal. My daughter will stand strong. She will not give up. We as a family be there to heal her, to continue lifting her spirits up. She will recover from this. All the false statements, all the embarrassment, all the humiliation, the anxiety, the depression, like a sleep, Our family will not lose faith. We will prevail. We will succeed. Our faith is strength through our God. Glory be with us.
For those who were able to hear all of her words, here's what I want to call out. That entire statement had absolutely nothing to do with the children who are currently hurting, damaged, in the hospital with rickets and 17 broken bones. Did y'all catch that? I think for people who've been watching me for a while, 4 years now, what's funny about this, we're going on 5 years here next month. Not next month, but next year. That's crazy. It's hard to believe I've been doing this for that long already. Y'all will watch interviews and you will see these things and you'll be like, son of a gun. She didn't talk about the welfare of the children at all. She talked about her daughter, who was accused of doing something very heinous, didn't address that at all. Didn't present one shred of evidence why that wasn't true, why these children weren't malnourished and abused, right? Didn't mention one thing about what evidence you have to show why she wasn't the person who showed up to the hospital and took the child when there was clearly a protective order in place. You didn't say, like Shaggy, wasn't me. It wasn't my daughter. It wasn't her. But we saw her on the camera, wasn't her. We saw her reaching in the bassinet, wasn't me. We saw her walk out the front door, wasn't me. Shout out to Tommy, by the way. I don't know if he's listening, but shout out to Tommy, by the way. You guys get what I'm saying? This will be the perfect time for you to tell the news and the media, everybody who's listening, why the information is false and why she shouldn't be in jail. You just literally said, that's not her. She's a good person, and I loves her, y'all. I loves her. She's a good mother, y'all. That don't work.
My name is Jakayla Johnson.
All right, Jakayla. Now, this is actually the person, just so y'all know, this is who I talked to on Facebook. Shout out to her. I appreciate her responding, but she declined to come on and talk to me. That's fine. But let's hear from her mouth why the evidence is not true. Let's go.
Jayana Johnson is my sister. My family and I, along with friends, stand before you today to show support for Jayana Johnson. Jayana is a kind-hearted, loving, protective mother who is falsely being accused of neglecting and endangering her child. A mother that is seeking emergency care for a sick child is a mother that loves her child and cares about the well-being of her child. We stand before you today wearing all black because it represents the power that we will continue to walk in as we fight to prove her innocence. We are wearing all black because it represents the anger that we feel due to the injustice that is being done to my sister and her children. We are wearing all black because as a family, we are hurting. We are experiencing pain and sadness. As a family, we will stand together and we will stand up for the ones that we love. Jayana is a nurturing, loving mother who doesn't deserve to be locked up in jail.
I'm still waiting on the evidence, Miss Johnson. Still waiting on the evidence. Now, she claims they're going to be posting a part 2. Well, this has been out for a little while now. We still ain't seen a part 2 to this interview. They're claiming they didn't have enough time to pull out all of the evidence, but we're going to wait.
My nieces, they are deeply loved They are cared for, and they do not deserve to be thrown off into the hands of complete strangers. As a family, we will fight for our rights. We will fight for Jayana's freedom, and we will fight so that she gets custody back of her children.
Let's take another pause right there. If y'all are listening, click that thumbs up. I see we got a few more people showing up. If you will subscribe to the channel, then you can type after about 20 minutes. Why don't these children deserve to be in somebody else's household if these children are being abused? Because clearly if they're being abused in one household, then they don't need to be in that household and they have to be in another household. So unless you're saying that those children deserve to be in a household that they're being abused in, then why would you say that they don't deserve to be in a household that might not do that? Caveat, might not, because we don't know. That's why we hope and pray that the biological mothers and biological fathers would be the ones to step their ass up to the table and take care of their responsibilities. You don't even hear nothing about the biological father, do you? Nope. Nope. Is she pregnant? I don't really know. I don't know. But I'm still waiting on the evidence. Y'all asking if she's pregnant? I do not know.
We will fight against this corrupt CPS system, and with God on our side, we will prevail. On October 30th, 2022, Jayana noticed that her daughter's breathing became irregular. As a loving, nurturing mother who is deeply concerned about the welfare and well-being of her child, Jayana immediately took Samaya to Cardinal Glennon Urgent Care to seek emergency care and treatment. When Jayana arrived at the urgent care, the doctor took x-rays of Samaya, saw that she had fractures, and immediately criminalized her and accused her of being an abusive mom and called CPS without running any further tests or blood work.
If a doctor, a professional, sees a child come in and they see things like this, whether it be marks, bruises, cuts, broken bones, that's exactly what they are trained to do, is call the police and call Child Protective Services. So they can do what? Investigate. Can the doctor go investigate? No, he cannot. No, he cannot. They can operate, make a diagnosis, prescribe medicine and prescribe treatments. They cannot go into the house and go investigate. Legally, they can't do that. That's why there is a system in place between the police and Child Protective Services. That's pretty simple, right? Why would you get mad that they're doing their job? I would be mad if you weren't doing anything wrong. Everybody catch that? If I knew I wasn't doing anything wrong and you come and I get a knock from CPS, yeah, come on in. Look at the kids' beds, look at how they live, go interview them, do whatever you need to do. So that way I can get a clean report. If you're doing what you're supposed to do, you'll get a clean report and all is right with the world, right? It's the way it's supposed to work.
A mother that is seeking emergency care for a sick child is a mother who cares for the well-being and safety of her child.
Pause. Effing pause. AFC, many of you guys have been on my channel. Please tell me, and I'm basically countering the things that she's saying. I want you guys to tell me in the chat, if you can verify, how many times and how many stories have we had where a person has hurt, murdered, or abused a child and took them to the hospital and they act like they don't know what happened? How many times? If you would ask me that question, I would have to say countless, because we almost have 1,000 videos on my channel, because we do that many stories on my channel about this exact thing, right? Taking a injured child to the hospital does not exclude you from guilt. That's not proof. Let's keep going. I'm still waiting till I hear some proof.
There are many false accusations and misinformation that is being reported in the media. And I am here to dismantle all of it. I am going to speak on her behalf, and the truth will be revealed.
Present the facts, please, ma'am. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Let's get it, ma.
It is reported that Samaya arrived at Children's Hospital in critical, unstable condition due to neglect. That is a complete lie.
What? Wow. Let me back that up. Let me let y'all hear this again. The first piece of evidence she presents is she says the child did not come to the hospital like she had been in a blender with 17 broken bones. I guess that's false information, huh? Wow.
False accusations
Listen again. Maybe I heard it wrong.
and misinformation that is being reported in the media. And I am here to dismantle all of it.
Let's dismantle all of it. Let's go. Let's go.
I am going to speak on her behalf, and the truth will be revealed. It is reported that Samaya arrived at Children's Hospital.
She did arrive at Children's Hospital. That's a fact. Because even in your words, you said the mom brought her to the hospital. I'm assuming for a reason, right? Okay.
In critical, unstable condition.
I would assume 17 fractures in a child's body and malnutrition, which could have been the thing that caused the rickets. That would be a serious condition, right or wrong? Is that not true?
Due to neglect.
It says that rickets can be caused, which they don't know for sure, or maybe they do know for sure, maybe they suspect it, that rickets can be caused by a vitamin D and calcium deficiency from diet. From diet. 17 fractures. Is that not true?
That is a complete lie.
All of that is a complete lie? Wow. Okay. Let's move on to the next point. Good job dismantling that.
Although Samaya's breathing was irregular, she was conscious, breathing on her own, eating on her own, laughing and playing. It is also being...
That's all a child knows to do is survive. That's all they know to do. That don't mean she didn't have 17 fractures, right? Can y'all type 17 in the chat if you can hear the sound of my voice? You didn't dispute one fracture at all.
Reported that Samaya arrived to the hospital with pneumonia. My sister, she stayed in the hospital 4 days and 3 nights by her daughter's side. I myself have spent hours at the hospital with them every day. I've spoken with every medical care professional that was assigned to be treating at pneumonia.
So the mom stayed at the hospital with the damaged child. Does that mean she didn't do it? How many stories have y'all heard? Are y'all First 48 fans? How many times have you heard of people staying with dead bodies in the trunk of their car, in the walls of their house, have dead bodies in their backyard? How many of you guys got a chance to watch the recreation, the documentary of Jeffrey Dahmer? Huh? Jeffrey Dahmer stayed with his victims. Does that mean he didn't kill them and eat them? Does that mean he didn't sexually assault them and put things in their drinks? They were damaged. They were dead. And all of them were still in that little blue container of acid. He stayed with them. Does that mean he didn't do it? Does that mean he's innocent? We have plenty of cases where people will take their children to the hospital and we find out that those children have been abused and the people who brought them there are arrested. It happens all the time. That does not prove innocence. Where is the proof of Ricketts diagnosis? Because they said that the child had a vitamin D and calcium deficiency. That's what the police report said. Matter of fact, I'll give you the website again, and you can question my source if you like. They actually have an email address, if I'm not mistaken. ParentHerald.com. ParentHerald.com. This article is by Joel Brussels of the Parent Herald, November 6th of 10:26 a.m. And I think that they, at the end of this, they usually will leave a way to contact them. I don't know if there's a way to contact them. Yep, it says contact us at the bottom of that webpage. Tell them to give you the proof. So there's your answer. You want proof? There it is. That's what they reported. They got their information. Question them about it.
There are reports stating that Samaya arrived at the hospital severely malnutritioned with the inability to thrive. Although Samaya is 5 pounds underweight, she was constantly fed, nourished, and cared for. She came into the hospital showing no physical signs of an inability to thrive.
What? She showed up to the hospital and did not present an inability to thrive with 17 broken bones. Really? I'm going to tell y'all. Do y'all remember? Go back and look on my channel back in, I think I started doing videos again, late March or April. Y'all remember when I broke my hand? Y'all remember that? When I had my accident? Broke the bone in between my thumb and the rest of my hand. It didn't stop me from doing what I needed to do, going live and still trying to live my life and take care of myself. But that doesn't mean that I was not damaged. I was still damaged. I still have the markings on my hand. I still can't bend my thumb backwards. My thumb should go about back here, and it don't really do that anymore. That doesn't mean I wasn't damaged. Oh, I had a lot more damage than that. What's up, Kimberly Flower? Y'all should know that YouTuber. She is in the building. Y'all make sure to show us some love. But with her having 17 fractures, yes, a child is still, because that's all the child's mind knows, is to play, eat, and sleep. That's all babies know how to do.
While in the hospital, Jayana refused to leave her daughter's side unless a family member was present. That shows the loving, protecting nature of Jayana Johnson.
I think that's a good thing. I think that's a good thing. Let's keep going.
A mother who deeply cares for the well-being of her child, the child that she gave birth to. We are a village, and all of us have continuously displayed our love and our concern for our loved ones during this time of need. And as a family, we will fight against the injustice that has taken place. Jayana will be vindicated, and the Lord will bring shame upon these wicked corporations.
So Child Protective Services is a wicked corporation? I think people are wicked. I think that there are people in Child Protective Services, because we've done some stories on some, that do bad things. I don't think that there should be a Child Protective Services at all. Let me say that again. Child Protective Services shouldn't exist, and it shouldn't have to exist. Do we know why it exists? That's because we have a failure of the nuclear family. Us as mothers and fathers are failing our children, and we ask that something else be in place to help as a safety net to help protect some of these kids who otherwise wouldn't have a place to go when you have a bad mom and a bad dad. It shouldn't have to exist. Child Protective Services didn't always exist. So how do we get through the 30s, the 40s, 50s, and 60s?
It is alleged that Samaya suffered 17 bone fractures due to a lack of care. That is simply untrue. While at Children's Hospital, we were informed that the fractures Samaya had were the result of a condition known as rickets. Samaya did not have fractures due to physical abuse or neglect.
I could understand 1 or 2, maybe even 3 fractures. Hope everybody catches this. There's not 4 or 5 or 6. What's up, Peachy Tea Time in the building? Not 7, not 8, not 9, not 10, not 11, not 12, not 13, not 14, not 15, not 16, but 17 verifiable fractures. "17 verifiable fractures." That's something that you can put in an x-ray and show that you have 17 fractures. I'm pretty damn sure that they have that evidence. I don't understand how you can say it wasn't neglect when you have 17 fractures. If a child has weak bones, it is possible to miss maybe 1 or 2, maybe 3, I guess. I don't know because I haven't been through that. But to be real, and no disrespect to this woman on the screen, because like I said, I did talk to her on Facebook. But let me say to the biological mother, excuse my language, but you cannot be that fucking stupid to miss 17 fractures. You cannot not see that if you're an attentive parent. You can't miss that. That is impossible to miss. If you tend to your baby the way that you're supposed to, 17, thank you. I don't understand what you're saying. I don't understand what you're defending.
Rickets is a condition that affects bone development in children. It causes bone pain, poor growth, as well as soft, weak bones that can lead to bone deformities, making it easy for her bones to fracture.
Pause, ma'am. Yes, you said one key word. Pain. P-A-I-N. Pain. Children with broken bones are going to feel pain. And if your child is crying, they're going to be crying with 17 bones in extreme pain. Thank you. 17 fractures, not even 3, let alone 17. They're going to cry. How long did you allow this to go on before you noticed 17 fractures?
Rickets is normally caused by vitamin D and calcium deficiency.
From poor diet.
But it can also be a genetic defect.
From poor diet. I Google searched it. Y'all Google search how you could get rickets. I Google searched it. Let me Google search it again. I just typed in the word rickets.
Here's the definition of rickets: a disease of children caused by vitamin D deficiency, characterized by imperfect calcification, softening, and distortion of the bones, typically resulting in bow legs.
It says that it also can be caused by poor and in a child's diet. The most common cause of rickets is a lack of vitamin D or calcium in a child's diet, which means what you're feeding them, which means if they were properly going to a doctor, you would know what you need to be giving them, which would be they would need way more vitamin D, and calcium. All 17 bones didn't hurt all at once on that baby. This is BS. I agree. And Kim said those babies are beautiful. Those babies absolutely are beautiful. And that's why it bothers me, the fact that it just seems like the family is putting the mother before the children. They're not even considering, in their mind, they're not even thinking maybe the mom is guilty. What if she is? I'm going, as a parent, if it were me in this situation, or if I were a grandparent, I would say, I'm going to be on the side of those babies first. Let's find out if my daughter did something to these kids. That would be me as a grandparent.
Rickets can also develop in a child if the child has another condition that affects the way the body absorbs vitamins and minerals. We have medical documentation that proves that Samaya was born with a heart murmur, along with other heart defects that contributed to her being vitamin deficient and underweight. Heart murmurs can cause symptoms such as breathlessness, difficulty breastfeeding, eating, and poor growth. As a loving, nurturing mother, Gianna tried many options to ensure that her daughter, Samaya, received the proper nourishment and was well-fed. She tried breastfeeding. She's tried different formulas, including Similac, Inflamil. Even with those efforts, Samaya didn't begin to gain a significant amount of weight until Gianna placed her on the same high-calorie, organic, vegan milk formula that her older daughter, Samaria, had also and grew up on when she was a baby.
You still haven't explained 17 fractures. Still waiting on that.
Gianna fed her daughter Samaya every hour, but even with all of her attempts, Samaya still had difficulty feeding and gaining weight and absorbing nutrients, which was due to the heart condition and heart defect she was born with. This hospital have neglected to check her medical records adequately. Gianna did her best.
What? She said the hospital neglected to do their job and check her medical records. What do medical records have to do with 17 broken bones? Oh, that's why she has 17 broken bones. It's because she has a predisposed condition, which is why the mother apparently doesn't have fucking eyeballs and didn't see that this baby had 17 fucking broken. That means this baby's body, I don't know if y'all might be old enough like I am to remember Stretch Armstrong. Y'all remember the little character Stretch Armstrong? You could stretch him all type of different ways. The baby's body don't even like could you imagine how many, which I would like to know which bones were actually broken. I'm assuming arms, feet, legs, maybe ribs. 17 is a lot. How do you miss that? Even if you know what's funny? Even if you didn't have eyeballs, because I know that there's some people out there. You say you remember Stretch Armstrong? You remember. Even with people that don't have eyes, who are visually impaired, still have their sense of touch. Did her hands not work? Could she not feel what a solid bone and a broken bone feels like? You can actually feel a broken bone if you are actually handling your child. You would not miss that. Please, somebody in the chat, tell me if I'm saying something that's wrong here. Y'all do me a favor and click that thumbs up. We got a decent amount of people here, but I want more people to see this. Please tell me if I'm looking at this wrong. How, as a parent, if you have eyes and hands that can feel, how do you miss 17 of those things?
ensure that Samaya received proper care and nutrition. All Jayana needed was a supportive medical staff, a little help from medical staff and dietitians to help determine the best long-care term and care plan for Samaya. But no, instead of helping her, a young mother trying her best to take care of her children, they criminalized her, took her children, and pressed charges against her, telling the media that she endangered the well-being of her child.
They didn't tell that to the media. The media found out, like people like me, that there was a protective order put in. They just took care of their business. And then people were like, well, why did you arrest her? Because she had a protective order and wasn't supposed to have a kid, and we issued an Amber Alert, found her with the kid, shouldn't have had the kid, we had to arrest her. That's information they had to put out. They had no choice but to put out the facts.
This system failed her. It was also reported that Jayana was informed about there being a protective order in place for Samaya, but she still decided to leave the hospital against doctor's order.
I hate when they say that. They said the system failed her, y'all. Did the system issue out some semen? Was the system issuing out semen like, here you go, ma'am. Here's some semen seeds. You want to take these and put them in some water, let them sit at room temperature for about 30 minutes. Take a little a turkey baster, put them things in there, and then just squeeze that up in between your legs every night with your legs up in the air, and you'll get a baby. Is that how they're doing it? They're just passing out semen seeds? Oh, that's right. She got those seeds from a man, the biological father, whom we have not talked about yet. That's a failure of mom and dad, not a failure of the system, because the system didn't give you the kids. The system didn't tell you, yeah, why don't y'all go and procreate? We think you guys will make a good match. And they failed like the love connection. They failed to make the love connection. They didn't, y'all were on Match.com and they did a shitty job of matching y'all up, right? Y'all like that turkey baster? Thank you. Kim said, I didn't see any tears for the baby, not once. They are upset for the biological mother and not for the kids. Isn't that something?
That allegation is false. The allegation that was made is absolutely false. Gianna was never informed that she no longer had custody over the child that she gave birth with during her stay at Children's Hospital. Gianna received notification of the protective order over the phone by CPS employee an hour after she left the hospital.
So she knew that there was a protective order against her. Damn.
It was stated that Jayana left the hospital against doctor's order without notification. That is false. She verbally told nurses and doctors that she was seeking better care at a better facility.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm going to replay this. I want y'all to hear this again. Jesus, ma'am. Ma'am, if you're listening to me right now from Facebook, ma'am, you can't say that on camera. You cannot say that she knew an order existed and she took the child anyway because eyes knows what's better for the child, and I'm going to take the child to another facility to get better care. That means you knew, A, that the order existed before you left, B, that you couldn't be around the child, and C, you took the child when you weren't supposed to have the child. You literally just acknowledged that. They're going to use that against you in court. I'm telling you now. Let's hear it again.
at Children's Hospital. Jayana received notification of the protective order over.
You just confirmed that she knew. Right there. Boom.
No longer had custody over the child that she gave birth with during her stay at Children's Hospital. Jayana received notification.
Bingo.
Of the protective order.
Bingo.
Over the phone by CPS.
Bingo.
Employee an hour after she left the hospital.
You knew. Guess what you also could have did? Reverse course and brought the child back, but she didn't do that.
It was stated that Jayana left the hospital against doctor's order without notification. That is false. She verbally told nurses and doctors that she was seeking better care at a better facility.
That was your reason that you gave them for leaving and breaking a protective order. Boy, you just can't be this level of dumb. God damn. Come on.
This hospital failed to provide a proper resolution for what was going on with Jayana. Jayana also left written notification displayed easily for someone to locate that she was leaving the hospital and taking her to a better facility.
You just can't be this level of dumb. Somebody in the chat said that's the definition of leaving against orders. But she left a note. Hey, y'all. She left a note, though, that she knew that she wasn't supposed to leave and left anyway. Man, look, whatever y'all do, y'all don't need to get into no type of legal defense, defending people. If you ever end up in court, ma'am, I'm going to just tell you, don't defend yourself because you're going to lose royally.
Listen, a mother that is, as of right now, the police are trying to stop, the security are trying to stop this interview. We are trying to get justice for Jayana. So if it appears that we are distracted, we're trying to speed this process along because they're trying to shut us up.
Are they trying to shut you up, or are they trying to tell you that you probably need to have a filming permit to be out there filming? Why do people protect abusers? Kim, I cannot tell you how many times that I've been on here, and it's just absolutely insane how many stories I've presented where I show people, I say, look, they're coming out and defending the person who was accused of hurting a child, and you don't hear them mention anything about the child that was actually hurt or murdered. Many, many times. Why they do it? It's because I personally believe that they don't care about the kids as much as they care about the person that they're trying to defend. Again, that's why my channel exists, because I'm trying to point out and show that there is a huge lack of people caring about children. That is why the AFC exists. That's why we're the advocates for children. And we say that children should be put first. They're putting these children on the back burner.
It was reported.
Usually in order to do an interview like this outside of somebody else's property, somebody else's facility, usually you either have to get their permission or you have to get a filming permit. That's what the news people do. They can't just be out just filming anywhere and everywhere without having like a press pass or some type of permit or be permitted by the police or the property owners. Am I right or wrong about that? If they don't want you out there doing news interviews on their property, they have every legal right to tell you, hey, you can't be out here filming. Do it somewhere else. You could have did it from home. Could have did it at your church. Just saying.
That Jayana was seen leaving the hospital with her mother wrapped in a pink blanket. Let's be clear. Samaya was safe in her car seat. Jayana made sure that she took Samaya to a different care facility. If she was guilty of trying to endanger the well-being of her child, why would she take her to another hospital facility? I would love to go more in depth about the allegations. However, security is telling us that we need to cut this interview. Please know that there will be a GoFundMe listed under this video. I thank you for your time.
Now we find out what this is all about. Did y'all catch that? What is this whole interview about? Is this interview about the kids? Or is this interview about money? Can we get a hashtag, baby, it's for benefits? Thank you, Just Jay. Thank you, Just Jay. You've done it again. You guys are welcome. I presented another case that people care about money over children. Hashtag babies for benefits.
However, security is telling us that we need to cut this interview. Please know that there will be a GoFundMe listed under this video. I thank you for your time.
There will be a GoFundMe. I'm sure there always is a damn GoFundMe, right? And here's what I want y'all to remember. The GoFundMe is on the side of the family that is accused of abusing the children. I've always said, be careful before you do. I've never said don't donate to GoFundMe, don't use it, don't give nobody no money. I've never said that. But what I have said is when it's on the side of the family that's accused of doing the abusing, y'all need to be real cautious before you just start dumping your dollars. Y'all want to see how much the GoFundMe was for? Does anybody want to take a guess at how much they're asking for? You're super interested? Are y'all ready for this? Da-da-da. I don't think y'all want to know. If you do, hit that thumbs up. Share this video. I don't even know how many people we got watching live. How many are here right now? We have, almost 800. Not too bad. Hit that thumbs up. We want to have one thumb up for everybody watching. Please hit that thumbs up. Y'all said show it. Let me see. Is it this one or is it this one? How about I show you? Let me show you something, like Jim Carrey would say. Can y'all see that number right there? Maybe you can't see it. Maybe I need to let me see if I can superimpose on the screen. Do y'all see that? How much are they asking for in GoFundMe? Can y'all see that? Is that number big enough for you? Do I need to make it bigger? Is that big enough for you? Y'all said a GoFundMe for what? I think I might have the details. I think I can read it. 225,000 MFing dollars. $225,000 MFing dollars. Y'all want to know what the GoFundMe says? Let me see if I can get it up here. Did I save it? I might have saved it. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, I could actually just look it up that way. Hold on. Let me just Google search it that way. Let me see. Jayana was falsely imprisoned. CPS took her kids. Exclamation point. Uh-oh, I wrote in prison wrong. Let me see if I can fix that real quick. Can I fix that, please? I guess I gotta manually do it. There we go. Where is it? GoFundMe. Where's the damn GoFundMe? I typed that in perfectly. Oh, Lord. Let me see. They're going to make this hard. Let me see. Hold on, y'all. Let me see if I can go to GoFundMe directly because I don't remember where the page is, or I remember I had to look it up. Hold on. There it is. All right. So I think I can show you this on the screen. Give me just a second. Let me get out my trusty screen share. Boom. So for those who can't see it, I'm going to superimpose this $225,000 FMF and GoFundMe. Jayana, the mother, was falsely imprisoned and accused of child endangerment. Child Protective Services, and I want y'all to remember, this is why they're asking for $225,000. How much has been raised as of this moment? There have been $0. Peachy tea time. 0. Can y'all type that in the chat, please? 0. Which is the amount that I believe there should be in that GoFundMe. But I digress. Child Protective Services unnecessarily took Jayana's children into state custody when all Jayana was trying to do was get care for her child. Jayana takes great care of her babies. We will not allow these baby thieves to snatch our sweet baby girl from her family. Jayana was concerned about her child's health. Therefore, she sought emergency care for her child. No mother who wants to endanger her children will go through such great lengths to ensure that her baby receives the proper care that she needs. I want y'all to also remember that the child had 17 fractures. But I digress. Let's keep going. CPS then came to my mother's home with a court order. I'm not making this up. Y'all see it right there on the screen. They are verifying that they knew that the court was already involved. CPS then came to my mother's home with a court order to take her other children or other child into state custody, even though she already had a wellness exam and it was determined that she was in good health. I don't think they understand what the court order was for. It's to protect the children legally from the mother who they thought abused the children. That's the point. My heart feels like it's been ripped out of my chest, and I can only imagine the distress and agony my baby sister feels. I can only imagine the distress my precious niece feels being taken away from their loving mother and family. Can y'all believe that? And I think the most interesting thing about this is I think every single person who heard about this story, who saw this GoFundMe pop up, have watched my videos at some point, and they said to themselves, not this time. Nope. Like Al Bundy used to say on Married with Children, no ma'am. No ma'am. No ma'am, we will not give you $225,000 after you are accused of neglecting your child to the tune of 17 broken bones. We're not going to keep standing for that. We are not going to keep standing for that and giving y'all money when you don't have health care, when you don't have a plan to be able to take care of these children, right? You have no plan, you have no stability, you have no marriage, you have no promise by way of two parents to provide for these children. Do these kids have the same mom and dad or the same dad? I don't know. Who knows? But why would we continue to fund irresponsibility? That is flat out irresponsible for any person, let alone this person, to have a child with 17 broken bones and you're going to act like you didn't freaking know. I think this is probably the real reason, to be real with y'all before I close this out. That's probably the real reason why the family didn't want to actually come on my stream and talk to me, because they would have to explain these things. If you're going to say CPS is lying, tell me what they lied about. If you're going to say that the police did you wrong, present your information, present your case. Clearly and concisely tell me why them removing these children from this woman's possession was the wrong thing to do. And based on their written statements, they weren't able to do that. And based on the information that's against the mother, I believe that she probably is culpable for what she did. But if y'all want to go back on her Facebook, I think she left a big old statement on there, or at least her sister did. Y'all can go check that out and at least read it. Don't harass these people. And I'm going to say it again. Don't harass these people, leave nasty comments or anything like that. But you can at least go and see what they've posted. We probably will be doing an update about this. But I'm pretty sure this is going to be yet another case that I presented on my channel where I did not have to retract a single word that I have said. Yet again, take that to the bank and cash that rather than trying to cash a $225 million GoFundMe. All right? This is your boy DJ Just J. Leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this story. All right? Thank you. Now, let's go on to story number 2. Because I'm pretty sure that Johnson family is very pissed. I'm pretty sure that they're probably pissing out and shitting hot coals right now. Pissing fire and shitting coals. Oh, I know they are mad at me. But guess what? My concern ain't about their feelings. My concern is about these children. Can you dig that? Let me see. This is... oh, my second feature story. Which one is that one? I should not have this many stories to talk about. And just to let y'all know, we're talking 6 stories tonight. So we're moving on to story number 2. Can we get a hashtag Date Thugs, Date Death in the chat, please? If y'all are ready. Get ready for some nasty comments, Kim. I'm already ready. I promise you. I know it's coming. She can probably inbox me already. Let me see. Did she inbox me yet? Not yet. But I do need to thank a couple of more people that joined Kimberly Fairchild in the chat who donated. And I need to shout them out here real quick. Let me get these videos up. Give me just a second. Because I need to put the right videos up. Mother of 17-year-old. Okay, there we go. This one. So I need to get the correct videos up. Because there's so many stories up here, and I want to make sure that I don't put the incorrect ones up here. So real quick, if y'all don't mind, let me say thank you to... let me make sure I can read your message. Oh, Custom Carpentry. Are y'all still in the chat? Custom Carpentry. I try to be a voice, too, for those who cannot speak for themselves. I truly admire you and AFC. Well, you are AFC, so Custom Carpentry. Let me see, is that Brian? I hope I can say your name. I hope you don't mind me saying that. I want to say thank you. I did get your PayPal just now. And also, Kydra. Where's my friend Kydra at? I need to make sure she's still here. I saw you typing in the chat. And Kydra left in a very nice donation. Of course, I will always keep the amount that you donate private. And Kydra said, listening while I iron the baby's clothes. That is awesome. Thank you, Kydra. Kydra always showing some love. Definitely appreciate that. For everybody else who's listening right now, we got 5. Are you typing in the chat? We have 5 more stories to talk about. This is a beautiful little baby. Let me show y'all this baby real quick. Anybody else who wants to donate, all you got to do is close the chat, expand the description box of this video, and you should see my links down there where you could just click them. If you want to donate and show some love, I will make sure and read your message if you decide to leave a message in there. That is a beautiful little baby right there. So instead of giving that family that's asking for $225,000 in their GoFundMe, if y'all want to put $225,000 to good use, I'd say donate it to the AFC. How about that? I would love to see them put that type of money into a movement that I believe is actually making a change in this world for our babies, to put our babies at the forefront. There's a lot of good stuff I could do with that kind of money. $225,000, you know what I could do with that? A lot. I could absolutely do a lot. But like I said, you don't even have to donate those levels. Just little bits from time to time help keep us going. All of us YouTubers that advocate for these kids, you know, anywhere from Kim Flower to Illicit Deeds to Make This Go Viral TV to Peachy Tea Time to everybody. Chris Thorns. I know he hadn't been around in a while, but shout out to Chris Thorns. Who else am I missing? Oh, goodness. I feel like I'm missing somebody. All of the true crime channels, missing children channels. Also, shout out to my friend, shout out to Ickmail. I think Ickmail does a lot of videos like that. Who else am I missing? I need to shout out one more person. Molly Golightly. That's my friend. Shout out to Molly Golightly, who actually will pull up on people, man. I got to respect that big time. Like, I don't just talk about it. I'm going to be about it, and I'm going to show up, and I'm going to protest, and I'm going to speak. I love that. Absolutely love that. If pictures could tell 1,000 words, y'all look at this picture. Some of y'all might already have some thoughts, and I'm going to tell you, whatever reservations you have, looking at this picture, you're not going to be wrong, and I'm going to just tell you that I'm going to have some choice words with this particular story, because I have been begging and begging and begging for the longest time now, almost 5 years. People have had plenty of opportunities to see my videos and say, I'm going to put my children first and not put my children in danger. And I think this is a situation I just don't think people care where they should. Before we get into the story, I'm going to say some things that are probably going to piss you off. Some of you might find my content controversial or offensive. The information is coming from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, news websites, and interviews, as this is coming from KSTP.com. So thank you for the article. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of the story. The point is to use this as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer that I created myself. So thank you so much, DJ Just J. Let's talk about this clown. This fool. This thug. Damn, hold on. This awesome individual that you guys just saw on my screen is accused of doing something to this beautiful little baby. I just don't understand how you can look at a face. Back that up. I don't understand how you could look at a face like this and get mad. I don't understand how you could lose control. I don't understand how you could hurt a baby. I don't understand it. Matter of fact, I don't have to understand it. There's no excuse. It needs to be punished. Flat out. At this point, I don't even care about the dichotomy, the psychology, the postpartum. I don't care. It needs to be punished. Period. Friday morning, a judge set a $2 million bail for a man who's charged with second-degree murder in the death of a 17-month-old princess. I'm calling her a princess. A little girl in Maplewood. Online court records show 26-year-old Terrence Leslie made his first appearance at 9 a.m. Friday in Ramsey County Court. There, a judge ordered the bail, $2 million, and also granted a public defender. Leslie's next court appearance is currently scheduled for the afternoon of December the 1st. If convicted, he could face up to 40 years in jail. As previously reported on Thursday, police were called to the 1400 block of County Road B East around 7:30 p.m. Tuesday for a report of a girl who had had significant injuries. Can we also get a hashtag and thank you to our new channel member? Thank you very much for joining. I see you. If y'all want to join that channel membership, very easy to do to support our message and support these babies. That is such a beautiful little girl. Hashtag mom's boyfriend. Mom's boyfriend strikes again. Isn't this a repetitive story at this point? Charging documents state first responders found the toddler with fresh burns to her neck, arm, and cheek. I need to take a pause, and I'm going to pause it on this picture. Let me back it up. I'm hoping it can pause right there. Let me speak from the heart just for a second. I think most people in the chat know that I'm a proud father of my daughter and her sister, who I also refer to as my daughter. So I have two beautiful, very smart, very intelligent little girls. And I want y'all to remember that children are like sponges, and what you put into them will come back out. And that's why I believe in putting nothing but love into children. If you can't do that, you shouldn't be a parent. You shouldn't be around the kids if you're not going to give them your absolute 100% effort. Been in my daughter's life her entire life. Matter of fact, I've been in her baby sister's life her entire life. From the moment that they were born, their first steps, their first words, their first time feeding themselves, first birthday, first Christmas, first everything. And I thank y'all. I think that I'm a good father, because I think that if I really wanted to be a great father, I probably should have had a much more solid foundation for my babies. That's why I always try to give credence to those who are great parents, because I think I'm a good parent. I don't think I'm a great parent, because I think there is so much room to improve. But I definitely appreciate the compliment, because I definitely put my heart into what I do. Okay? I'm in a somber mood right now because I look at this baby, 17 months. It breaks my absolute heart. I'm not going to cry. I promise you I'm not going to cry this time. It breaks my heart when I see this baby, when I see her. I see her beautiful little eyes. I see her cute little outfit. Her beautiful curly, coarse, beautiful head of hair, full head of hair. I just want to pick her up. She's laughing. I want to laugh with her. I want to know what she's thinking. I want to know what she wants to do for the day. To just keep that smile permanently on that baby's face. When I see these babies, that's what I see. I'm not going to cry. Don't type it in the chat because I will break down. And I'm not going to break down right now. Because I think about the success story, how my daughter had her dad and her mom. And then I think about my other little baby, my daughter's sister, and her dad. And I'm going to just say it on air, and I hope there are no ramifications. But her dad don't want to be a part of her life. And it's impossible for me to go get my daughter and leave that baby behind. Because I look at her and I'm like, she deserves a dad too. And I don't know if y'all noticed earlier that Kim Fairchild posted in the chat. She said, "We wish there were 100 more of you, Jay." And I think I've said that before, and I appreciate her saying that, because if there were 100 more of me, any other child that wants a dad would have a dad. I would absolutely be a dad and be available to be a dad if there were more of me. If I could spread myself wider, I absolutely would. There's no reason any of us, even those who have lived through this, that can tell y'all story in the chat, leave a comment in the comment section and tell me what that felt like to not have your biological parent there. I've seen it happen in my family lineage. I won't put any names out there or anybody's particular story, but I know some that could post their story, and I know what their story is, and they could tell you what it felt like to not have their dad there, to not have their mom there, or to have a parent that was just absent-hearted, absent-minded, didn't even care, didn't want you there, or forced you out of the house early, or neglected you because they wanted to have a boyfriend or a girlfriend. Plenty of people can tell that story. I know these stories, and I'm so thankful that I didn't have to go through that. And I also would do everything that I can to make sure that another child doesn't have to go through that. So I want to be the living example of what I talk about, but to also present these so that we can be way more aware about what's going on in our world. You could actually clip that out, what I just said right there. If my life were to end tomorrow, you could take that, and I will want everybody to know that is what my message stands for. Right there in my heart. That's my message. Almost 5 years of this. That's my message. Such a beautiful little angel. So let me tell you more of her story. Charging documents state first responders found the toddler with fresh burns to her neck, arms, and cheek. Medics also found dark bruises all over her back and abdomen. The child's 18-year-old mother and her boyfriend, who's 26 years old, Terrence Valdez Leslie, said Leslie was watching the child while the mom was at work. Here's what you won't hear. Here's what the news won't tell you. And here's what she won't tell you. She's probably not even able to take care of herself, let alone should be making any babies. And I've told y'all, men under the age of 30 shouldn't be fathers. They shouldn't have kids in general. They're not stable enough. In general, I don't think men should be fathers under the age of 30 years old. Mom's boyfriend was watching this baby while she was at work. Guess who could have been watching the child while you were at work, ma'am? Nobody's going to want to hear this. Where's the biological father at? I find it so odd that we can present hundreds, maybe even thousands of situations in America where a mother, a custodial parent, will make it difficult for the biological father to interact with their kid, to see their kid, to babysit their kid, to take care of their kid. Maybe even y'all could even offset y'all's schedule so that one could go work, the other one could watch the kid, like me and my daughter's mom did. Shout out to my daughter's mom. That's what we did. I watched my daughter during the weekday while her mom went to work, and then I worked on weekends, and now my daughter's mom could watch my baby. We worked together to get to this point. They are so quick to prevent the man that is responsible for bringing this child into this world. But a dude off the street that's slanging some good penis can come in and be a daddy. What qualifies Terrence Leslie to be a good daddy? He's good at putting his face in between your crotch and sticking his little worthless junk in between your legs. That's what makes him a suitable candidate to be a babysitter to a baby that he has no DNA tied to, that he don't care about. And when he sees that baby, he sees the image and the face of the man that this 18-year-old woman was sleeping with before she got with him. We don't understand how dangerous that is. How many more stories do I have to present with this exact same narrative? I don't even understand how you're 18 years old and already got 2 boyfriends involved with 1 child. Yes, I'm castigating the mother because mom went to the thug zoo and allowed her child to be babysat by the thug lion. Remember, thug does not equivocate to a skin color. It equivocates to actions. This man claimed that he was running a hot water. Oh Lord. He was running hot water in a bathtub for the toddler. Another bathtub story. Type it in the chat. How many times, guys? How many bathtub stories? Yet another bathtub. Again and again and again and again. This man allegedly, I want y'all to think about this. Think about how this sounds. Another bathtub. Think about how this sounds. There is a stranger undressing your baby while you're not at home. That's exactly what this is. A stranger is taking your child's clothes off for an alleged bath. Really? Nobody see nothing wrong with that? Hot water in a bathtub for the toddler, but left to tend to his dog. He then heard a splash, found the child in the tub, and said that her skin was peeling off as he tried to dry her. However, officers saw the tub was dry and no towels were even damp. So this nigger took the driest bath ever, allegedly giving a child a bath in a dry tub with no wet towels. The police are saying that the tub was dry with no towels were even damp. Additionally, the hot water didn't seem hot enough to cause the toddler's injuries, but the baby had peeling skin. Let's see how we get there. At the hospital, a doctor told police that many of the bruises on the toddler's body were old, a sign of ongoing abuse. That's where we're getting ready to get back to castigating the mom. Let me say that again, because the mom actually did an interview. Would y'all like to hear her interview? Y'all would do me a favor and click that thumbs up. Please share this. Click that thumbs up. We want to have one thumb up for everybody watching. Do y'all want to hear the mom try to defend this? She said she had no idea. She went to work, and then next thing you know, this happened. When the doctors are saying that this happened over a prolonged period of time. There were bruises on the child's body that were old, a sign of ongoing abuse. Additionally, fresh bruises were found on her face, and doctors found blood behind her eardrum, indicating a brain injury. That means this child was hit. Sounds like blunt force trauma. Trying to say that right. And thank you, Mo Love. I did get that. Thank you very much. I do have it. I'm going to read your message here in just a moment. And just say thank you. Thank you so much, Mo Love, if you're listening. Eventually, the mother said that Leslie is abusive, and in the past few weeks, he assaulted her as she held the child and some of his elbows hit the toddler. However, the mother said that the child was fine when she left for work on Tuesday. So that means that you knew the thug lion was violent, got violent with you, you saw it, saw something, didn't say anything, and still left your child with this thug lion. And he actually does look like a lion in the face. He's a liar and a lion. When investigators searched Leslie's phone, they actually found videos of him swearing at the child, yelling at her to stop crying, and noises that sounded like him slapping or hitting the child. The complaint notes that the child had swelling, bruises, and other apparent injuries in the videos, and some appear to show the child unresponsive. My God. Additionally, the complaint states that Leslie's phone had an internet search about the degree of about the degree of burns caused by boiling water. Ramsey County Medical Examiner's Office ruled that the girl's cause of death as multiple traumatic injuries due to assault, and noted that she had several external injuries as well as a brain bleed, lacerations to her thymus gland, liver and adrenal gland, broken forearm bones. This man beat this baby to death. The medical examiner also found injuries consistent with sexual assault. Y'all remember when I used the analogy of the stranger giving your child a bath and you think that that's normal? Let me read that last sentence again, just in case. Thank you, Lee Hellinger. Yes. It's what I suspected all along. There is no reason for somebody other than the father or the man that you're married to, which will legally make him the father, to be with a naked baby. The report, according to KSTP.com, the medical examiner also found injuries that are consistent with sexual assault of this little bitty baby. The things I could say right now could absolutely get me flagged off of YouTube. So I'm going to just refrain from saying certain things. Okay? While police arrested both Leslie and the child's mother, Ramsey County Attorney's Office said Thursday the police haven't yet presented a case against the mother for charging review. Police added that they don't have enough evidence suggesting that she was involved directly in the child's death. She saw something, she said she didn't say anything, and left the child with a man that was an abuser. To me, that should be an arrestable offense. That in itself is enough evidence, the fact that came out of her mouth, he beat me up while holding the child. And you left your child there anyway? I feel like they got this wrong. She should be under arrest. She should be in jail with at least half of what he's being charged with. So if he's facing 40 years, I believe that the mom should be facing 20 years. So when she gets out, maybe she can't reproduce any more kids. Hashtag TTO, hashtag TTT. 5 Eyewitness News discovered Leslie served in prison after pleading guilty to possession of a firearm and ammunition in connection to a murder in Minneapolis. Can we get a hashtag, date thugs, date death? Remember when I called him a thug and I said it was an action, not a skin color? Leslie served prison time after pleading guilty to possession of a firearm and ammunition in connection to a murder in Minneapolis. He was released in 2021 and has been under released supervision with the Hennepin Department of Community Corrections. What about them background checks? Did the mom not know or did the mom not care? I think the mom didn't care. Let me give you guys the fair usage. Let me let you hear her interview. Let's go. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. I'm going to try to keep these videos short if you guys would. We want to have at least one thumb up for everybody watching. And please share in the memory of this baby and click that thumbs up. It'll bring more attention to these stories. If y'all would help us do that, simply click the thumbs up. Here we go. Let's get it.
A little girl is dead and her mother's boyfriend is charged with murder. And we do want to warn you that some of the details of the story are difficult to hear. Today, prosecutors charged 26-year-old Terrence Valdez Leslie in the death of his girlfriend's 17-month-old daughter. It happened Tuesday night in an apartment in Maplewood. As WCCO's Rich Chapman reports, investigators found out the child was the victim of ongoing abuse.
Maplewood police were called to these apartments after a mother called them saying her baby girl was hurt.
On the report of a 17-month-old juvenile female with significant burns.
This is video from a neighbor showing first responders on the scene. According to the criminal complaint, they found fresh burns to her right cheek, on each side of her neck, her right forearm, and shoulders. The mother's boyfriend, 26-year-old Terrence Leslie, was watching the child and told police he left her unattended and she fell into the bathtub filled with hot water. The child was taken to Children's Hospital in St. Paul, where she died.
Through investigation, Maplewood Police determined that Jamari had multiple other injuries other than the significant burns.
Court records show when medics removed the child's clothing, they found dark bruises covering her back and stomach. The emergency room doctor believes many of the bruises were old, which can point to ongoing physical abuse. The doctor also noted blood behind her eardrum indicating a brain injury, and there was evidence she was sexually assaulted.
In my 22 years of law enforcement experience, I've never investigated a crime more disturbing or more heinous than this murder.
Investigators later learned Leslie may have intentionally recorded himself in the act of abusing the girl. In a statement, Ramsey County Attorney John Choi said, "Words cannot fully capture my feelings about what happened to this innocent and helpless young child, but know this, we will unrelentingly seek justice for her."
Super tragic. She had her whole life ahead of her. Beautiful little girl.
Rex Chapman, WCCO 4 News.
Investigators believe the child's mother was a victim of abuse as well. She has not been charged in connection with her child's death.
The Twin Cities man charged with the brutal murder of a 17-month-old girl makes his first court appearance.
Investigators are calling this the most disturbing case that they've ever seen, and Cece Gaines is live with more on this story. Hey, Cece.
And I want y'all to remember, and thank you for calling that out in the chat, remember that they said that a lot of the bruising looked old. That means this abuse has been going on for a while. How they didn't charge the mom. Do y'all think the mom should be charged? Because I do. I'm going to skip to her interview here in just a second. I'm going to try to find it.
Hey Alicia, hey Chris. 9 a.m. is when Leslie will face a Ramsey County judge. He's charged with second-degree murder for the death of his girlfriend's daughter. Now, this all started on Tuesday night when Maplewood police responded to the Sherwood Glen apartment. Police say the girl's mom called 911 around 7:30 that night, reporting severe burns on her daughter. That's after she left her with Leslie. The girl later died at the hospital from what police are calling multiple traumatic injuries due to assault. Police say Leslie told investigators the girl accidentally fell into hot water in the tub, but according to a criminal complaint, an ER doctor noticed signs of ongoing physical abuse. Police also uncovered video from Leslie's phone documenting abuse against the child.
Super tragic. She had her whole life ahead of her. Beautiful little girl. Our hearts and our thoughts and our prayers definitely go out to the family and the friends in this case.
Now, right now, we're told the child's mother isn't facing any charges, but of course, this case is bringing up some shedding light on child abuse. So in about 30 minutes, we're going to talk to an expert about signs you should look out for if you suspect child abuse at all. Back over to you.
Yeah, a tragic case. Thanks for that update, Cece. The Twin Cities man charged with the brutal murder of a 17-month-old girl makes his first court appearance.
Investigators are calling this the most disturbing case that they've ever seen, and Cece Gaines is live with more on this story. Hey, Cece.
Okay, let me skip that. Let me see. Is the mother talking there? Okay, yeah. Let's skip that.
Just a week ago, we brought you the story of a 17-month-old child found dead at a home in Maplewood. At the time, she was in the care of her mother's boyfriend. Now that boyfriend, Terrence Leslie, is charged with second-degree murder. Tonight, the child's mother spoke to Charmaine Nero. Charmaine?
Randy, Jamari's mother is speaking out for the first time. And although she wanted to share her story with Carol 11 today, she's still mourning the loss of her only daughter.
Go, Mari. Go, Mari.
Cell phone videos show happier times.
My baby was always happy from birth.
That's what the mother of 17-month-old Jamari remembers most.
Even in the womb, she'll always be a shy, want to always cover her face. When the ultrasound picture go exactly to her face, like she knew every time.
Displaying a bright, joyous smile that can make anyone in the room join in. But now,
I'm just feeling lost. I just feel like I don't know what to do no more. Like, I'm just lost.
It's been more than a week since she last saw her daughter's face. Maplewood police say they first came out to a home on County Road B East October 18th after getting a report that an infant had significant injuries. According to the complaint, first responders noted fresh burns on her cheek, neck, and arms. 26-year-old Terrence Valdez Leslie was later charged with 1 count of second-degree murder without intent for the death of his girlfriend's young daughter.
I go to work, my baby's fine, then I come home, my baby's laid out on the couch.
Police say Jamari was taken to the hospital where she later died after going into cardiac arrest.
I go to the hospital. I'm in there for about, like 30 minutes. I'm getting heated. I'm saying things like, they're telling me you're being disrespectful. While I'm in here.
So she let a man that is attached to a murder watch her child as a babysitter. Let's think about that for a moment. That's on record. That's the truth. That's not speculation. She essentially let a murderer babysit her child, and yet she's surprised and shocked. And she's had her ass whooped before by him. But she's shocked that him beating up the child ended in this child's death. And he's shocked that this baby was sexually assaulted by this man. While she just left him there, really not knowing nothing about this man and his tendencies, if you didn't even know that he was a murderer, and you went to work and let alone you didn't take your child to a babysitter. This sounds like y'all were probably living together. And Lord, I don't understand why women are so slow, and this is in general, not all. Ladies, don't get mad, but I'm going to say what I got to say. I don't understand why women are so slow to marriage and so quick to let a nigga that ain't shit move in and live with you. I'm lost by that. Let me say that again. You won't marry the man, but you'll let him move in with you? You ask a woman, would you marry this man? Oh, no, we ain't ready for all of that. But you'll do everything else that comes along with marriage, except for make it legal. Isn't that something? That is a horrible dichotomy. And the fact that this baby was only 17 months old, this baby is not even 2 years old, and you're already in your next relationship. You've already moved past the biological father that quick, really? Where's the biological father at? Let me guess. If this little broad likes thugs, that I can almost guarantee you that her baby daddy, y'all, probably in jail, y'all. I'm telling y'all, man, it's so wild that thugs get all the pussy that they can stand. They have murderers have no trouble getting sex. Isn't that something?
She comes to tell me my baby heart stopped beating.
Like, what does that say to young men? Does that discourage these boys from being thugs, or does that encourage them, knowing that they can get with any woman that they want to? All they have to do is have a couple of bodies on their record. And they can do no wrong.
She remembered her daughter's face and a smile that's hard for any mother to forget. She's praying for justice.
I just want justice for my daughter, and I just want to be heard. And I'm hoping that he gets charged.
You're hoping that he gets charged? Like, she looks like a child herself, or maybe I'm just getting old. Like, she looks like she's literally 14 years old. Let me see if I can back this up. Right here. Like, she has the body of a 14-year-old. Like, she looks frail and tiny. And to be real with y'all, let me zoom in just a little bit more. She looks slow in the eyes. This alleged mother looks slower than a bottle of molasses, and all I can guarantee you is that she's going to turn around and find herself another boyfriend, find herself with another kid, and she's going to repeat this process all over again. That's what I can promise you.
A private funeral service will be held for Jamari on November 2nd. There's
6:30 this morning, a heartbroken family is planning this baby's funeral. Little Jamari died last week. Right now, her mother's boyfriend is charged with her murder.
This morning, hundreds of dollars are pouring in to help this family out. And just take a look at this, nearly $2,000 raised for the family so far to help pay for Jamari's funeral.
This morning, the girl's mother tells about the gut-wrenching moment in the...
You know what? I didn't even put that together. Thank you, Kimberly Flower. Think about this. They found evidence that this man sexually assaulted a baby, and his girlfriend looked like she was a preteen. She's the size of a preteen. I know middle school children that are bigger than this mother. Could that be what he thought in his mind? Was that he probably liked this woman because she looked like that she was underage as an adolescent? Because he ended up, based on the evidence that they have, sexually assaulted a baby. I didn't even put that together, but I'm glad you said that because I didn't even think about it like that.
Hospital after learning about her daughter's death.
Oh, yeah. Oh, y'all asked about this GoFundMe? Yep, I can bring that up for you. I didn't even realize there was a GoFundMe here, but there is. Let me get that up on the screen for you because they're getting ready to talk about it. I could at least say that this particular GoFundMe is a little more sensible. I'll be real with you. Let me hyperimpose that. I don't know if that's the word. Uh-oh. Hold on. I did that wrong. Let's try that again. Hyperimpose, superimpose. That's the amount that they're looking for right there. So I can't even pronounce that name. Kia Nasha Dodd and Kim Yoder Dodd. Boy, what is a Kia Nasha and a Kim Yoder? Some stupid ass names. I'm sorry, but them names don't make any sense. $1,500 GoFundMe. They raised $1,900. Baby should have had life insurance, but baby didn't have no life insurance. But at least I can say the amount that they're asking for at least does make some level of sense. So they didn't go too crazy with the GoFundMe.
CC is live with the details.
Good morning. As you mentioned, it has been more than a week since 17-month-old Jamari's death, and her mother tells us that she was always happy. She could always light up any room that she was in. Now, her mother says that since her death, she's lost because she doesn't know what to do without her. Now, this heartbreaking story all started when Maplewood police came to the Sherwood Glen Apartments where we are this morning. They came there last week after getting a report that an infant had significant injuries. According to the complaint, first responders say they saw fresh burns on her cheek, neck, and arms. Terrence Leslie was later charged with second-degree murder. Jamari's mother says when she went to work, her baby was fine. When she came home, she wasn't. Police say, sadly, Jamari was taken to Children's Hospital where she later died after going into cardiac arrest.
I go to the hospital. I'm in there for about, in the room for about like 30 minutes. I'm getting heated. I'm saying things like, they're telling me you're being disrespectful. You gotta, while I'm in handcuffs, she comes to tell me my baby heart stopped beating.
Now, a link to the GoFundMe that we mentioned earlier can be found on our website. Jamari's family says they're going to leave that up until her funeral. They plan to hold a private funeral service on November 2nd. Now, meanwhile, Terrence Leslie, he's going to be back in court on December 1st. Jamari's mother saying that right now she's praying for justice. Back over to you.
All right, Cece, definitely a heartbreaking tragedy this morning. Thanks for that report.
So I think I've said about all I can say about this. But to reiterate, when we move past him, I think we know what needs to happen to him. Life in prison is what he needs. If they got more that they can do it. But I think that this woman absolutely deserves to do at least half the amount of time that he's going to do in prison. So if they're going to give him 40 years, give her 20 years. But they absolutely need to charge her because even based on her words, she witnessed the abuse that's happened before and didn't do anything about it and kept her baby in the situation which caused this child's death. That, I think, is an arrestable offense, and I think that is enough that you could prove in court to get this woman arrested to do some years in prison. She needs time in prison because the last thing that she needs is to be having more kids. She was never going to do right by this baby, and she's not going to do right by any other children. She needs either a lot of time to mature, get her shit together, get her life together, get some values together, and learn how to pick a man. This is not a man. That's not a man at all. If you were ever going to call somebody a pedo, which pedo means prepubescent, this man is nothing more than a murderous pedophile that should have never have had an opportunity to be around this child. I think this woman deserves prison time. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Was that too harsh of an opinion? Was I spot on? Do you think something else? Do you think I missed something? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section about this story. To that beautiful little angel, baby girl, from my heart to yours, R.I.P. Such a beautiful, beautiful, vibrant baby. Robbed by this damn idiot. But let me know what you guys think. Thank you.